Hello and welcome to another scrapbooking process video. I'm Tracy, also known as MercyTiara, and I share scrapbooking process videos, project shares, tips and tricks, and more here on my channel. Today I am working on a companion page, and so you will see me refer to this layout here, the pink one with the drizzle on top. You'll see me refer to that a couple of times throughout the process of this video, because my intention is for today's page to be a companion page to this. Now, that's not the second page of a two-page layout. What I mean when I make a companion page is that it's a page that's designed to go next to the other page, and I like those pages to have some repetition but not be too matchy. And I want them to coordinate with one another because they either tell two parts of the same story or two flip sides of the same coin, or sometimes it's a page about one daughter and then the page about the other daughter. So there will be a few things that repeat on this page and a few things that will be different. One thing that repeats is that I am also including a disembodied hand that's holding a treat. So that was in the first layout. If you didn't see that video, I am going to link it right here in the cards, and so you can check out that video because it highly inspired this one. So like that one, I'm starting by cutting out a photo of my daughter's hand holding the drink that this layout is about. In this case, it's a boba. In the last case, she was holding an ice cream. And I created this by just pressing and holding on the subject matter of the photo. It cuts it out from the background and makes it really easy to make a trimmed up fussy cut photo of any object or person. So one thing that's different about this page is that it's going to include two photos. It's going to include the same photo of my daughter kind of holding the treat. So the other page had that too. And that's that one right there that's on the trimmer right now. It says Tiger Sugar. But there was this other photo of the three of us there on the street in New York, and I just thought it was really hilarious how Liv was kind of looking off in the distance and Sophie was stealing a sip of the drink. I'm starting off with the Summer Vibes kit here from MercyTiara Kits, and I am going to just start by familiarizing myself with the contents of this kit. I'm going to keep on referring to that layout because I do want to repeat some of the elements. So I'm just kind of taking a quick look at it. This is the paper that was used on that layout. So that layout came with a printed background with the ice cream drizzle on it, and then I added a second layer with the chocolate drizzle. And so I hand cut that, so I have some leftovers from that. And I'm just going through these papers mostly with an eye towards picking out a background paper. I was going to pick that green one with the stripes going both ways, and then I decided to switch to this yellow and white striped one, which I very much love. So I'm going to be using that as my background. I think I'm going to use some of these chocolate sprinkles, but I'm not entirely sure. And then I also really like that pink paper from Cartabella. And ooh, I really love this one from Simple Stories as well with the little lines on it. So these are the papers. I'm starting with these. I'm going to start by matting my photos, and I'm actually going to double matte both of them. So I'm starting with this chocolate sprinkles paper, and this, because it's dark, it gives my page, like the photos on the page, a little bit more presence, and it basically adds a little bit of boldness, just a tiny bit of boldness and some structure to the layout. And I find that matting my photos in a dark or a high contrast pattern paper or cardstock really helps draw your eye to them. It really helps you kind of identify them on the page, because even if there's lots of embellishments all over the place, your eye kind of picks up on that structure of the rectangle outline around the outsides of the photos, and it just helps draw your attention right to the photo. So I'm going to take the designer strip off of this Pink Fresh Studio background paper. Oh, I love that paper. It is so cool. I am live streaming for my patrons while I film this video, so that's why there's a little me up in the corner, and the footage might be a little bit different with comments and whatnot. So I really love how this paper with the little lines on it coordinates with the other page. And so I'm thinking what I might do is put a strip on along the top and another strip along the bottom. That was my first idea. So I'm going to cut another strip right here. And I thought we'll put like a narrower strip at the top and a wider strip at the bottom. And yeah, that's okay, but it's not really. And then I thought maybe I could mat the strips. And then I thought, wait a second, maybe I might want to use this drizzle again so that there's drizzle on both of these pages. And so I'm just going to cut this design off of this page. I am so surprised that I'm using this design not even once but twice. I mentioned in the other video of the first layout like this with the drizzle on it that I don't typically like papers that have this kind of design on the background already. And here I am using it the once, and now here I am using it the second time. Although I'm cutting it off here, so I'm not, it's a printed design background, but I'm not really using it as a background. I'm just grabbing the design off of it, and then I'll layer it over top of this yellow paper. I'm not going to put a chocolate layer on top of the vanilla layer like I did on the other page. I think that then it would look too much like it was a double page or like too much the same, and I really don't want that. These are sister pages, not twin pages. So yeah, so that's how it's going to look. And I really do like it. Another thing that will make it look a little bit different from the other page is if I trim this down a little bit so that it's not quite so long. And there, the drizzle is more at the top now, which is great. And that also gives me a little piece that I can put at the bottom here. I don't think I'm going to run it the full length of the bottom, but I'm afraid I'm going to forget about it. So I am leaving it there at the bottom for now. I often forget about things, so I do different little strategies to try to trigger my memory. So I am going to outline this, and I'm outlining it with brown. The same brown marker that I used on the other page. It's Early Espresso from Stampin' Up. It's just a Stampin' Write marker. They have markers to coordinate with all of their different inks, and it's just a plain marker. It's not alcohol marker or anything like that. So I'm outlining that. It gives the drizzle just a little bit more presence on the page and helps it to not blend in so much with the background. And now I am going to spend a little bit of time here figuring out how I am going to layer these 3 photos together. So I'm starting by grabbing some foam adhesive. These are from American Crafts. And I'm just going to layer them on the disembodied hand that's holding the boba. This is Sophie's hand holding the boba. And this is my challenge. I don't want her hand to be weirdly sticking out from the edge of her body. And so it's sort of hard to work with this kind of an embellishment. It's the arm that is giving me a bit of trouble, right? I mean, I could have just cut out the boba itself. It would have made a great embellishment, and it wouldn't have been that hard to cut off the hand. I just thought it was fun with my own daughter's hand. Like, you can tell that it's her because she has the bracelet on. In the other one, you could tell it was her because her nails were done. And so with all of that, I want to try to keep that hand, even though it's causing me a little bit of not only a design problem, but a bit of a logic problem, actually. So I'm thinking that maybe if I can think about how I might put some of the embellishments on the page, it might help me decide how to layer these photos and how to use the boba photo, the close-up of the boba. So I'm going to spell out boba, and I want to call this Boba in NYC. And so I took the I and the N from the smaller letter stickers from the kit, and then I'm going to use the bigger letters for Boba and NYC. I'm using the grid on my work surface to help me make those straight. Even though I will have to take them off of the wax paper, I like kind of getting them set up on the wax paper. I don't like that. I thought I could make the word in be sideways, and that might help it look kind of like it fits, but it's too small and the letters are a weird shape for doing that. And so anyhow, I'm going to go with this, but actually I really like this geotag here instead. So I'm going to not use the word in at all. I thought about writing in tiny little letters, a little tiny I and a little tiny N in the whole of that geotag, but I didn't end up doing it. I thought that this puffy sticker that has a drink with a straw in it, I thought I could turn it into boba by just adding some dark blue circles in the bottom of it. So that's what I'm going to do. Because it's a puffy sticker, so it's a plastic surface, which is a shiny, slick surface, I'm using an alcohol marker. This is a Stampin' Up! Alcohol marker. It's in the Night of Navy color. It's the dark one. And so I just added some little boba bubbles to the bottom of that puffy sticker. And look at me just trying to figure out how to do this. These photos are and the boba is going to have a lot of different configurations before I finally land on one. So I've already attached the two photos to each other because I knew I wanted them layered that way. And now I'm going to put the word Boba, the title, Boba NYC, up there. And then I thought, yeah, I'll just put the Boba photo right below the title. I'm lining up my title with one of the lines on the background paper. And then I'm spelling out Boba as well. There we go. And then my close-up of the boba will go right below that. I'm going to place these eyeglasses right there, those sunglasses, because my daughter had sunglasses on her head in this photo. And I'm just going to look at what other embellishments might go well with this. So I do like this little string of lights, but I don't think I'll be using it. I'm going to play around with where I might put that cup of boba. Oh, there's another embellishment I could maybe add some boba to. Ooh, I like this. So this is an awning, and it's nice because we were on a street front and going to a lot of little shops with awnings on them, so I thought that was good. It says delicious. And it also does a nice job of bridging that gap between the two photos where there's that little gap of space that's below the photo on the left and beside the photo on the right that just is sometimes hard to work with. And I'm just experimenting here, auditioning a bunch of different embellishments for different places here. Oh, I like this one because it also has awning on it. Just making another little reference check to the original layout. Ooh, I like the boba over there on that side. It gives me a little bit of balance because I know I'll be placing a lot of things over here on the right side. And I want a similar amount of space on either side so that the layout doesn't look lopsided. So I want the same amount of open space, meaning the background paper showing on the right side as I do on the left side. So that's why I put that boba over there beside the title so that it takes up a little bit more space. Now this lemonade in a mason jar, I'm going to turn into pink boba in a mason jar with lemons in it because I don't know if there's such a thing as lemonade boba. I don't think there is, but I'm inventing it. It certainly sounds delicious. So I'm adding little bobas here. These are the tiny little ones. Sometimes you get the really big fat bobas and sometimes you get the little ones. Maybe the little ones are called bubble tea. I don't know. I'm not a boba or bubble tea expert by any means, but my daughters certainly drink a lot of those drinks. So there we go with the awning journaling piece. I'm just going to attach this awning right here as well. So now we have repetition of the awning on the page as far as imagery goes. That says delicious, and it really does fill in that gap quite nicely. And now I'm just going to take the backings off of the boba photo and That's popped up. It was popped up on the other page too, so that's another thing that I'm repeating here. I'm just going to place it right there. I did not want it to look like it was coming out of my daughter's hip or anything weird like that. So having it kind of come out from the awning is better. Although, sometimes things can just be whimsical and not make sense. You don't have to always follow some laws of nature or something when you're designing a scrapbook page. I recently put fields of flowers in my clouds in the sky, and it was very liberating to do that. I enjoyed that process quite a lot. So this summer journaling piece is also really nice. And my original thought was that I would be journaling on these pieces, but it turns out I'm just going to use them to house some of my embellishments. And there's not really going to be any journaling on this page because the photos kind of tell it all, right? We were in New York and we got some boba. I love these little die cuts from the Simple Stories die cut set that comes in the kit. They say fun and they are so cute. I'm popping them up on dimensional adhesive, and I do plan to fill them over with Nouveau Crystal Glaze, but I'm going to wait until fairly late in the process so that they won't be sticky while I'm working on my page. I'm taking a few puffy stickers. One says summer, so that becomes summer fun instead of just fun. And then one is a puffy sun that kind of is up in the sky of the photo. And now I have this other one that says sunshine on my mind. It was a very sunny day that day, very hot. And so I'm just going to stick this down here in the bottom with another piece of that vanilla sprinkle frosting kind of paper. I really do like this Love This sticker, but it's just not going to work here. This is the number 8 for August, and it looks like it's on a little bit of a ticket, so I just stuck it below my boba, my homemade boba die cut customized thingy. And this is a yellow strip from the sticker set from Pink Fresh Studio. It says Live in the Sunshine, and that just adds a little bit of detail underneath of that title. And then I also added this one a little bit offset to the left. It says Our Favorite Place. I'm going to customize this because this word summer is too light of a blue. Would you call that maybe a cornflower blue? I think maybe. And I wanted it to be a darker blue. So I'm back with my navy blue alcohol marker from Stampin' Up! And I'm just tracing over this word the best that I can. It's not that hard to trace. I just have to kind of peel up the embellishments so I don't accidentally mark on them. I had made a little bit of a mistake that I just fixed up with a white gel pen there. And that's just, see, it's only subtly different, but it really does make a difference. I like it, that darker blue. The light blue was just standing out too much, and it was the only thing that color on the whole page. So now I don't have to figure out how to add more of that color to the page. So I'm adding a geotag here. I was feeling like I'd like more of that color from the title. You can see those stickers over on the left. I just wanted to have that color blue in a few other places on the page. So I added the geotag above summer, and now I'm adding another geotag to the center of the sun. Those Pink Fresh Studio stickers are so cute. Now, because this is a boba layout with lots of little boba tapioca circles in it, I am going to be super liberal with my confetti mix here. This is an exclusive confetti mix that comes in MercyTiara kits. Every month there's a different mix of confetti. And I really love these. They're like sequins, but they don't have holes in the middle, which means that when you glue them down, you don't get little bits of glue oozing out the center. I do still use a sequin sometimes, and I do enjoy sequins, but I very much prefer these little confetti pieces. They give the same sparkle as well. And what I love about these sequin mixes is that in this mix, there are 3 different colors, but each color has 3 different sizes. So there's a whole lot of variation. What I'm doing here to give it a natural look is I'm actually just sprinkling them on from a couple of inches above the page and letting them drop where they drop, and then making very few changes after that. Like sometimes I'll spread them out a little bit, but I'm mostly sticking with where they land. What I'm doing here that looks kind of fiddly is some of them land upside down, and when they're upside down, they're just a little bit harder to glue. I do actually like some of them upside down because it looks nice and natural, but they are hard to stick to the page because they're concave, and so only the little edges of it stick to the page, and you have to kind of get the glue in exactly the right place in order to make it stick. So I do sometimes take the time to just flip them all over. I am using a new kind of glue. It's new to me, not new to you guys. I've been recommended to use this glue by many, many, many people, and I'm finally getting a chance to try it out. This is the Art Glitter Dries Clear Adhesive. And I have the metal tip with the pin that kind of goes inside to keep it from clogging. And this is my first time using it, as you saw me open it and apply the tip. And I have to say, this glue is amazing. You guys were right. You guys told me to get this glue, and you were right. It's the glue. I love it. Now, look at how easy it is to add these sequins, these confetti pieces, with a combination of a good glue with a very fine nozzle and my pickup stick. The pickup stick is perfect. It's just sticky enough to pick up the sequin. But what I love about it is that as soon as you touch it down to the glue, it releases and it doesn't pick it back up again. My old pickup tool would never want to let go of the sequins. It would pick it up and then never put it down. And so this is very good. Now this glue is really... Oh, sorry, I'm having trouble with my camera here. But this glue is, I'll get that, don't worry, it won't stay like that forever. It's really coming out good because it's very, very liquidy. And I think that the liquidness of it is what makes it work really well. And so I just had to get used to the fact that with a super liquid glue like this, you can't just hold it upside down in between uses like you can with a thicker glue. If you hold a thick glue upside down in between uses, it's so thick it's not going to like leak out of the nozzle, but this one is so liquidy that it does leak out of the nozzle. So what I'll figure out by my second layout using this glue, I haven't figured it out yet, but what I'll figure out is that you really need to not do what I'm doing right now. You have to put it upright or at least horizontal in between placing the sequin pieces. And that makes all the difference in the world as far as not having glue oozing out of it. I'm just messing around. I thought maybe the container that the pin and the lid came in might be an extra lid, but it's not. It's just, no, it's not. So you just store it with the pin and that's it. This is my other pickup tool. It has a piece of sticky tack in it, and it didn't work nearly as well as this one. Those pickup sticks, by the way, will be available for sale in our shop very, very soon. And also the pickup stick and a sequin bundle will be one of the prizes that we're giving away at our big giant crop, our online crop that's coming up on August 12th for anybody who has purchased a Summer Vibes kit. So that's the kit I'm working with here today. You see me filling in the FUN with the crystal, the Nouveau Crystal glaze there as I had planned. And now what I find is that because these embellishments are on pieces of foam and the crystal glaze is kind of weighing them down, I was afraid that it was going to droop down as it dried, and it was starting to do that. So I just placed the foam adhesive packaging here underneath of it just to hold it up so it wasn't going to like lean on an angle and end up blobbing down, because that is pretty liquidy right now. It'll dry pretty quick, but it's liquidy right now. So, as I was saying about that crop, we are hosting an online crop on August 12th, and I will make a video about it. But since I haven't made it yet, I'll just let you know that you have to have bought a Summer Vibes kit in order to attend this full day crop. I'll be live streaming the whole day. There will be prizes and challenges and giveaways, and it will be a whole lot of fun. So if you were on the fence about buying the Summer Vibes kit, now is a great time to get it. If you ordered it now, it would arrive in time for you to be able to participate in that crop. The crop is a $25 value, and it's free if you get the Summer Vibes kit. I just used my roller date stamp and some Stampin' Up! Ink in the color Safari Sand. And there are some photos coming up, but before I share those, just a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters. These folks help make this channel happen, so big thanks to them. Patrons get early ad-free access to all or most of my process videos and real-time unedited versions of my videos, as well as monthly live streams, behind-the-scenes videos of my room and my process. And thanks to you also. I hope that you enjoy taking a look at these close-up photos. I really had a good time with this one. I love making companion pages, pages that go along with pages that are already in my book. So thanks so much for coming along with me for this process. Here are all of the places that you can find me and find our Kit Club on social media. Please take a moment to share, like, and leave us a comment because we love to hear from you. Take care and have a really great scrappy week.